crew, welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local lightworker. I'm a tarot reader and astrologer, but today I will be your resident onomancist. Yes, we are going to divinate patterns in wine today. And I have here a specific bottle of red wine. It's red Portuguese wine from 2018. Jesus, pre-pandemic, guys. Remember that era? And it's called Quinta do Espírito Santo. I love the title of it. I think it's very apt for what we are about to engage with. And I want to welcome light energies. As you guys know, I always work with angelic energy, with white light frequencies, and I only allow such energies to come through in our divinatory sessions. So what is onomancy? First of all, it's a very hard to pronounce word, so please don't be self-conscious about how you pronounce it. You can also say wine divination or wine readings. It's basically the idea that we can interpret signs and synchronicities from spirit, from the patterns, the color, the reverberations that we see in flowing wine, in wine that has been poured, in crystal clear wine, just wine in general. And you can actually use wine on a variety of different surfaces. Some people like to just stare at the calm surface of the wine which has been poured and decanted, and they like to interpret whatever signs they see in the glossy surface of the wine. Other people like to splash some wine on a piece of paper, and judging by the patterns, the dots, the droplets that have fallen on the piece of paper, they can then interpret those signs for something deeper. So I'm going to do a combination of these two techniques here today. I will pour some of this wine that I have here. It's a red type of wine. I'll pour it in my little crystal bowl, which is a vintage one that I purchased from one of the antique shops here in Bucharest. And I'm going to interpret whatever I see on the surface of the red wine, and then I will take some drops from this crystal bowl and I'll put it in this piece of paper. I have here a notebook, and I'll see whatever patterns the wine wants to make. And this is how I'm going to tap into specific love signs that you might need to know, something that can help you in this period to understand what is happening with your love energy, what might be coming up in your love energy. I'm just going to see what happens. It's the first time I'm doing such a reading. I spent the whole week preparing for it. No, not by drinking wine, but by tapping into the deeper meaning of why this practice came about and what did our ancestors actually thought they would achieve by interpreting signs in wine. I need to say that I summoned here the energies of the god Dionysus. He's also known as Bacchus. As you guys know, Greek or Roman gods tended to be interchangeable, so usually the Romans had the same gods as the Greeks, but they gave them different names. So we have him pictured here as the symbol of ecstasy in the Gods and Titans Oracle book, as you guys know, or just Oracle deck. It has a book, but it's a deck by Stacy DeMarco. It's one of the few decks that speaks strongly to divine masculine energy, and I'm very called to use this deck because my North Node is in Aries, and right now it's being activated by Jupiter in Aries. So that's very strong masculine energy that I feel the need to tap into for the higher collective. So Dionysus will be guarding over this reading. I will be the resident Bacchant. The priestesses that used to honor Dionysus or honor his cult were pleasure-seeking high priestesses, and they were named the Bacchant from Bacchus, his Greek name. And they were just women that could sometimes kind of explode in these sheer wails of ecstasy and pleasure. They were known to be quite rabble-rousing women in the past, and I think nowadays from our Christian framework, from our deeply rationalist mindset, we would just call them raving alcoholics. But back in the day, they served the cult of a good time, the cult of the vine, and the cult of grapes and abundance and prosperity. So there is a real Jupiterian vibe with Dionysus. I always saw him as representative of this energy of Sagittarius, expansion, celebration, partying, you know, going out to concerts, Burning Man, Coachella kind of vibe, to bring it to a more modern interpretation of how I perceive this energy. But it is the energy of celebrating life, of indulging in life's pleasure, and of actually taking advantage of the harvest, of the prosperity of the earth, and honoring it. This is what Dionysus is all about. I'm going to read you now in this introduction what his energy is described as in Stacey DeMarco's vision, and then I'm going to just get into the reading. But I want to give you some sort of primer, some sort of introduction into who Dionysus is. We have all felt it at one time or another, that feeling of completely and utterly letting go, a feeling of total elation, sweet freedom, and release. This is the free-flowing energy of the Greek god Dionysus. As one of the most misunderstood deities, many believe being a follower of Dionysus means non-stop partying, but honoring Dionysus goes far deeper than that. Dionysus is a liberator. Women and minorities of ancient time were restrained in society and not as free to grow and contribute to society as they are now. The idea of having no restrictions and total freedom appealed to them. This made Dionysus popular, and his cults became powerful. The Maenads, women who served Dionysus, held the most secretive of rituals. His Roman equivalent Bacchus was the inspiration of the famous Bacchanalia festival, when slaves became masters, women dressed as men, and men as women, and laws could be broken without punishment. This kind of spirited activity is cathartic in nature. It allows change in body, mind, and spirit, birth, death, and rebirth, which allows a fresh and revitalized start. Dionysus is also the god of the theater, with a huge theater named after him on the slopes of the Acropolis in Athens. By the way, everyone should go and visit the Acropolis at least once in their lives. I had the pleasure of going there for an academic conference in 2018, actually, when this wine was created, and it was one of the most magnificent experiences I ever witnessed. The sheer light and solar energy that emanates from the Acropolis in Athens is phenomenal. So highly recommend as a travel tip. Coming back to the description, increasingly our culture encourages either binging on or totally abstaining from pleasures. Yeah, it's very extreme, very Pluto and Scorpio. We are either all work or all play. Those of us who feel weighted down by responsibility experience no play. Perhaps you take your grades seriously and know your future depends on getting into college and choosing the right course of study. Perhaps you feel you have responsibility for friends or family members, and so you never fully relax, or you have a job or you work long hours with no relief. While these things are admirable, it is important to sometimes ease up on yourself and have fun. Connecting with Dionysus' gift of pure release is profoundly reliving. You can achieve this by dancing, singing, play acting, or even doing something that you used to do when you were younger and feel too mature to do now, like swinging or playing on a ground. I can actually tell you guys that I've been very stressed out in the last period, and going in the park and swinging on some of those child swings that could actually support an adult has been one of the best things that I've been doing for my mental health. So I highly recommend you not to take yourself too seriously. Go to the nearest park and swing. You will not regret it. Trust me. It will heal your inner child. Coming back, in fact, anything that takes you away from yourself and into pure fun just for a time can help you unwind and be more productive. The shadow side of Dionysus is overindulging in activities that give us this high, but is not part of Dionysus' plan. Partying just for the sake of partying too hard is not healthy. There is a fine line between frenzied madness and true ecstasy with Dionysus' energy, and this should always be respected. So drink in moderation, guys, party in moderation, but do remember to take some time off and enjoy life as well. All work and no play makes all of us very sad little boys and little girls. So the symbol of Dionysus are the grapes, the theater scroll, the androgynous looking man, and honey. Yeah. And how can we invoke Dionysus? This is the beautiful part about this oracle deck. That's why I like it so much. Thank you so much, Stacey DeMarco, because she leaves us with invocations and beautiful poems that we can recite in order to summon the energy of Dionysus Bacchus into this reading today. I am taking a lot of time introducing this to you guys because I do believe in the sanctity of invoking a deity that protects this reading. This is how we can glean accurate messages, and there is a space of almost like spiritual religiosity that I want to create, because wine reading is not only about drinking wine in front of the camera and acting cute. No, it is something that should be done with a certain reverence. Every time when we summon a deity, every time when we do a type of occult reading, please do it with respect and reverence in order to get the best of it and in order to facilitate your good dharma. Because if you disrespect the deity, you're going to get some pretty harsh payback. It is important to consider what form your ecstasy takes for you. If you don't find your liberation in something silly, you might find it in dance, in song, in an activity that you love, or in hanging out with someone you love. Decide to dedicate your next moment of liberation and pure fun to Dionysus. You can do this by saying a simple intention out loud and following up with a sip of grape juice or honeyed apple cider. One liquid that is particularly interesting and delicious is also mead. So if you guys can find some mead, I strongly suggest that you use it in your divination practice. It used to be considered a drink of gods in the legends of Titans. For example, this is what you can say. Thrice born son of Zeus, I raise my glass to you. Iacchos, show me sweet release. Okay, so let's begin. I'm going to pour some wine in my crystal cup. So, we are so grateful for your presence here, God Dionysus Bacchus, thrice born son of Zeus. We raise your glass to you. Iacchos, show me sweet release. I'm going to take a sip. Just a little one to bind the proceedings. And now, a small rite before the start of a dance, an important game, or a night out with friends is also a wonderful way of ensuring joy for you and honor for Dionysus. Alternatively, you might like to try a thriambus, which is a hymn to Dionysus. I'm sorry guys, I'm not familiar with any thriambuses, but if you guys know, please let me know down in the comments. If you are musically inclined, you may wish to make one up for yourself, or you can sing your favorite upbeat song in his honor. Think about a song that never fails to make you dance and play it loudly. I think for me, it has to be Shake It Out by Taylor Swift. Whenever I hear that song, I cannot stop my body from moving. Or I think it was also Justin Timberlake's song, Dance, Dance, Dance. So move to it wildly and sing along. Let go, let Dionysus. So may it be. Wonderful. I feel so energized just by doing this ritual. I hope I can transmit this energy to you guys as well. There is also a jazz wine playlist that I'm going to link, guys, for you down below if you want to maybe enjoy a glass of wine while you're watching this reading and listen to some jazzy, classy music. You can hear it as well very softly in the background behind me. And also, I do need to say before I dive into the reading that I have created on my other channel, I have a second channel called Spiritual Soulscapes. I created a series called Eros Lit, where I read you an erotic tale and I drink from some fine wine. We're having so much fun. The first episode already was published last week, and each Thursday you may expect a new episode. So feel free to visit the other channel, feel free to access the link down below and watch the series. I hope you guys will enjoy it. All this being said, I do need to remind you to like this video, subscribe, and comment down below and let me know what do you think of these kind of readings. Now, we're going to begin. So I'm going to pour some of this decanted wine. And decanted in the sense means I haven't poured it into another receptacle, but I have opened it for 2 days ago. And it's actually wine that has been opened and has been poured into another, like not into another receptacle and not in the one in which it was initially bottled. tastes so much better, guys. So I strongly recommend that you do that too. Okay, let's begin with the first part of this reading, which is I am going to just look into whatever messages come through from the crystal ball, and I'm going to actually take you with me on this journey. You can see the leg of my support, camera support, and just make it a little bit of a close-up so you can see too what I see. Okay, perfect. I see a situation that will unblock itself, a tremor, like an electricity bolt, a shock. There is something that is disturbing the clear surface of the wine. Something is coming through, and it's coming through really fast, and it will take you by surprise. It is something that will flip a situation on its head in love. I feel that there is anxiety. There is a lot of defensiveness between you and an individual. And this defensiveness will mount up until the moment when it will just erupt. And that emotional outbreak is going to be what gets you guys to truly admit your feelings to each other. There is an intimate connection that will happen following a fallout. So get ready for something to be shaken up out of the state of uncomfortable energy exchange. Something beautiful is going to bloom. I see a change in plans. Things are not going to work out in love in the way in which you imagine them. They are actually going to work out even better. And the imperfection of the plan is actually what's going to make you have so much compassion. The fact that things are going awry, they're not going according to plan. There are some blocks, some stoppages, some limits. There are some failures, some miscommunication, a misunderstanding between you and your crush, your loved one. That actually brings a sense of humble energy between you and your crush. It helps you see that, hang on a minute, I'm also human. I also see a whale, and whales are really massive mammals that live underwater. They're incredibly sensitive, but they're powerful in terms of impact. Somebody here has been feeling very heavy-hearted, feeling as if they sink down to the bottom of the ocean. But this is actually just a very good indication that you have begun your journey inwards. Much like Inanna had to travel into the underworld to find herself and meet her shadow aspect, her sister Ereshkigal, the mother of monsters, and only then could she enjoy her life once she accepted and loved that which she was afraid of. I feel like you too are doing the same thing. You've began your descent. Hold on to it. You are not losing your mind. You are not spinning out of control. You're just changing. Allow this change to happen. It's bringing you closer to true love and to a sense of feeling as if love is anchored deep inside your body rather than outside of yourself. I see that somebody is watching you. I see an astrolabe, and I also see an astronomical device for observing planets. Somebody is watching you. Somebody is actually creating a birth chart, looking into the placements of your sun, moon, and ascendant, Venus, Mars, Pluto, I'm hearing as well. This person could be a Plutonic. This person could be somebody that you might have rejected, but they are not giving up on you. I see an eye. I see a brown eye. So again, surveillance, somebody is watching you, staring at you. This person has a feeling, and their feeling is that, no, they don't have a feeling. They feel to me as if they are warm, they are kind, but they are also stressed out because of something. Maybe because of the fact that the situation between you and them is not working out. I see Taurus, I see a bird, so this could be Aquarius, air energy. Whenever I think of flying vehicles, birds, I think of Aquarius, the angel. I see a material that is green and very bright. Somebody is trying to break out of a lot of repressed emotionality. There is somebody here that among you watching this that has been repressing their feelings for decades now, and is very attracted to wearing the color green in this period because their heart energy is being opened. Whether they like it or not, it's being opened. It might be the influence of the energetic yes, the energetic upgrade that we got with the Lionsgate portal yesterday. Music, and I can hear the music in the background also kind of picking up pace. Somebody needs to understand love as a piece of music, as a beautiful song. It's not a linear progression. You go from point A to B to C in a logical fashion. Love is not work. Love is a song that goes up and down, modulates, undulates. It has a break in the middle. It might have lyrics, it might not have lyrics. It can make sense the first time you listen to it, or you gradually fall in love with it the more you hear it. It can obsess you like an earworm. It attaches yourself to your unconscious and it attaches itself to your unconscious and you can't get rid of it. You don't know why you keep playing that song in your mind, just like we don't know why we fall in love with the people that we fall in love with. The need to do that. It's kind of like a little ASMR Tibetan bowl. I think that we're shifting energies, and it's also doing something out of the ordinary, breaking out of a rut, breaking out of the mold of how things should be done, being playful. Things don't have to grow in a sort of strict progression. They can go in a loop and then come back to the place where they started from. Honor your inner child. I see Picasso here. For some reason, I see Picasso's face in the wine. Picasso was a Scorpio sun. He was Spanish. He had these color periods. He had the blue period. I think he also had the yellow or orange period, if I'm not mistaken, which is a way in which he coped with his deep, intense feelings. Blue is sadness and melancholy. I'm hearing Breakfast at Tiffany's, the mean reds, right? The anger. Colors and emotions. The colors you are drawn to in this period tell you a thing or two about your emotions and about the health of the energetic points in your bodies, the chakras. I see here somebody cooking for you, giving you something sweet to eat. I feel that it might be a piece of chocolate cake or birthday cake. I see an intruder, somebody that just entered into a connection that you wanted to keep just for yourself, you and your friend. I feel that there are two eyes, two red eyes from a distance watching. There is somebody that has an envious person that indulges in black magic and creates obstacles for them. If there are blocks in your love life, or you don't understand why random things are happening to you, why your day starts off in one way, but then all of a sudden you're being thrown a curveball, it's because there is a person who's playing with your energy. They are using a picture of you or a part of your body, your hair, a nail, maybe a piece of clothing, to cast spells on you. They might even have a voodoo doll of you. This person is harming themselves by casting evil onto you. Don't worry, the influence of spells only lasts for about 24 to 48 hours, and it depends on how psychically protected you are as well. Strong individuals with a very strong auric field, usually when somebody else tries to create spells for them or against them, they have to do it a couple of times. They have to be very determined about putting some sort of evil onto you, because your auric field just blocks it. Things such as candles get extinguished in a ritual, the weather starts to change, electricity is turned off, blocking the other person's capacity to create a spell against you. And I feel like some of you who are here, part of my crew, you have this strong protection. I see that person's two red eyes turning into a heart, turning into something that will bring union, reconciliation, and forgiveness. This could be a lover that you rejected, and they are paying somebody else to bring difficulties in your love life because they feel slighted. But this person will ultimately not succeed, and there will be years taken out of their youthful energy because of the fact that they are trying to manifest evil in you. It's gonna only backfire, and it will end up hurting them more than you. I see that somebody's just floating here. They are just accepting their love energy for what it is. They are chilling, they are gliding. They might be someplace on a holiday at the beach listening to this. It's just a feeling of just being somewhere next to a swimming pool and just enjoying life's flow, not really chasing anything, not really doing much, but just existing and feeling quite grateful and happy in that point of existence. Anything else in the surface of the water? Give me a moment, guys, to concentrate. I'm hearing the power of words to heal. I'm hearing suture, S-U-T-U-R-E, suture, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the opposite of rupture. It's sewing things back together, mending, forgiving, reconciling. I'm hearing woes be gone, foes be gone. I'm also hearing stripping, stripped bare, stripped naked. I'm hearing my heart is yours. And then another person is asking, but who are you? Who are you? And there's an echo. The person who's asking, but who are you, is receiving back radio silence, is receiving back its own voice, an echo. I'm hearing, be careful of falling too much in love with yourself to the point of neglecting listening to other people, empathizing with them. I'm hearing sweet, sweet empathy. I'm also hearing empathy biopic. Cradle. There's the symbol of the cradle which appears. Somebody might want to be cradled by you. You want to feel protected at this point in time. I'm also hearing satisfaction, and I see a person that is almost as if they have received an orgasm, or they have given themselves an orgasm, and their head falls on their back and they let out a gasp of delight. I'm seeing the 8 of Hearts, the playing card. and Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. The headband, blue with small white flowers. And somebody munching on a chocolate Neapolitan. Somebody's being annoyed by a sibling. Better boundaries are necessary. And somebody has very beautiful full lips and they might be applying lip gloss or lipstick. As they might be watching this, this is what's coming through. I'm seeing somebody is in South Africa trying to call you, trying to reach you. I can't really see exactly where. Pretoria. And a curly-haired dark man. Like a man with dark hair, sorry. Thank you. You see my lamp reflected in the surface of the wine. Now I'm going to move on to the second technique. So yeah, this felt a little bit clunky, I have to say. It took me a while to tap into the energy of these messages. But let's see what happens when we splatter some drops. Maybe this might be a better technique for me, we'll see. I'm not going to think about it, I'm just going to take and spill. Take and spill, take and spill, take and stop. Okay. Couple of it fell on the table and on my hand. That's okay, that's for the ancestors. Do you also spill some alcohol on the floor and you actually say a little prayer because you think that that is actually honoring your ancestors? We do that in Romania, especially when we go to festivities or weddings or parties. Okay, so this is what we have here. Let me bring the bowl close as well. I do see that there was a small bubble on the surface. Somebody's going to receive a message, a phone call. There's a ding, there's an incoming piece of news that I think will surprise you while you're watching this reading. Yeah. Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? I see some concerned parents. I see a mother and a father really honing in on this child. I also see the face of a mosquito or a bee. Mosquitoes, bees, somebody could have suffered from mosquito bites or the sting of a bee. I'm hearing between Scilla and Charybda, which is being caught between sea monsters. I'm seeing the constellation of Scorpio here. Scorpio energy keeps following me around, guys. I'm seeing a boat, cruise ship, maybe, but it's a speedboat, it's not a cruiser. So maybe somebody is on the sea, trekking with a speedboat on water. I feel that this could be someplace near Croatia, near Italy, near Greece, in the Mediterranean. I see here Pisces, the constellation, and Aries. I'm hearing 7 brides for 7 sisters, or 7 brides for 7 brothers. I think that's the name of the movie, which is a movie that my father watched while my mother was giving birth to me, by the way, just as a TMI. A swan, a long-term commitment. Somebody's coming in to offer you a long-term commitment. You'll hear this from a woman before it actually manifests in your reality. A cat. Somebody is falling in love with a cat. They just got a cat. They have a new pet. And this cat is like the apple of their eye at the moment. They only see this cat. How sweet. Somebody has big doe eyes. Their partner fantasizes about that. So that could be you being fantasized about by your partner. I see a heart here, a declaration of love. I see a bear. Somebody could receive a plush bear. I feel somebody suffering from anxiety, and the plush bear kind of eases that anxiety. You could have chosen the grizzly bear from my previous reading as well. Somebody feels like their partner is like a bear. They want to just cuddle their partner. Or this could be in a same-sex relationship that their partner is a bear. I'm just saying what comes through, guys, sorry. A mouse, somebody's very afraid. It's taking a small step in the direction of love. Somebody has to overcome their fear. They have to speak up. They have to be a bit braver in this period. Use the energy of Jupiter currently transiting retrograde through Aries to empower yourself. I feel though that in this period, while Jupiter is transiting conjunct the asteroid Chiron, the wounded healer, we could be better at empowering other people to be brave for us or for them, rather than us actually taking the lead in our own lives. Because Chiron gives you the feeling that you can do something for other people, but you cannot do it for yourself. You live with that wound to your courage and confidence. I see a man, the profile of an older man with soft fine hair, brownish hair. Yeah, he looks like an old English gentleman, and he wants to speak. He wants to say something. He might not be English, it's just that he looks a little bit like that. Jellyfish and mushrooms. Maybe some of you are consuming some sort of hallucinogenic mushrooms. I don't recommend it necessarily, please be careful with that, but I feel like you could be at a festival and maybe somebody gave you some shrooms and it's changing your perception of reality. You could be feeling like your body has turned into a jellyfish. I see a lot of couples forming in this period. A lot of people deciding to break out of a group friend, of three-party situations, and just coming together. You see, all these couples, it's like the emphasis is on two people that match, whose frequencies match. There are all the other permutations that could be possible here. Anyone can be with anyone else. But people are choosing. They're choosing to be in a specific, loyal, determined commitment. I feel somebody is touching the middle of a person's chest, kind of wanting to touch underneath their breast, or wanting to reach their nipple. Somebody wants to undress you, but at the same time they want to tenderly and carefully caress you and tell you that their heart is linked to your heart. I feel a trip to a safari. Somebody's taking a trip to a safari. Yeah, and that's it. All of a sudden I feel that's it. Okay guys, so this has been the Onomancy reading that I was able to create for you today. I'm bringing you back to the full view. I hope you have enjoyed this unique reading. Let me know if any of these messages resonated. If you enjoy this type of reading, I would be happy to source more wine that is blessed by the Holy Spirit and create these readings for you. Yeah. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to, you can have a look at all my other rose petals and energy readings, especially if you're new to my channel. I have a playlist with smoke scrying, rose petal readings, roseomancy. I'm actually the first person to have started doing them here on YouTube, no matter what all the other copycats are telling you at the moment. Hey. Yeah, thank you so much for being here, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Take care. Mwah.